Hey everybody, this is Vinny with Excel Distance Calculators, and thank you for watching my video. I've been doing these videos on the products that we've built for the last 15-16 years for quite some time now, and about a few times every week I do get emails from you guys about how much our software, our tools have made a difference in your business by automating certain tasks, saving you precious time and allowing you to run your business more smoothly, faster, and even more importantly, removing human error from the equation that can end up costing you a lot of money. The software that I've built for the last 16 years has allowed a lot of you to better train and hire better employees, and that is a huge point from a business owner standpoint. And today's software follows that exact same trend. And I built this software for a friend of mine who is a broker in the non-emergency medical transportation area, and has got about over 65 drivers working for him in different cities. And he used to dread making payroll. He had to do that every week, and it would literally ruin his weekend. And because of the payroll that I built for him, he was able to run the payroll for all of his over 60 drivers in less than 15 minutes instead of dreading that and spending hours and hours to kind of do that payroll. So hopefully this will help you a little bit in your business. Now, a precursor to that, I understand that everybody's way of paying their drivers, the way that you've got your driver pay structure, might be different. And in this tool, I've included the most common ways of paying the drivers, which is for miles driven, and also giving you enough options and flexibility to account for most used payment methodologies. But again, I understand that that your method might be a little bit different. After all, everybody's got their own secret sauce. And if that's the case, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to look over your system and maybe build something that will match your process to the T. So that said, let me kind of show you how it works. First of all, I want to go over to the data screen. First, once you download the tool, we've got the driver set up. Right now, we have a default driver, and that is pretty much the default rate. We have a per mile, a driver per mile rate. In this case, is $1.50. You can change that. There is a flat rate, so the moment the driver picks up the trip, the moment that they start the trip, they automatically get that flat rate. And also has an option for free miles. Meaning that that flat rate covers those free miles. The first 3 miles they don't get paid. Now, if they get paid for all of the miles, you can make this zero. In addition to that, this is the default rate. So if the driver, when we run the payroll, if we cannot find the driver name into the driver tab, then it automatically gives the default rate for the driver. If it finds, some of you might have some drivers that get paid maybe a little bit more. They've got seniority, they work longer hours, etc. They got your better drivers, and you can add those in here and pretty much customize the driver rate for every driver. If you want to give everybody the same rate, you're welcome to maybe remove the rest of the drivers, or you can put the same numbers across the board. So once we do that, then the second part is the trips tab. So this is where your trips information is, and you get this from your system, from whatever system you're using, whether it's Veya or something else, and you would paste the data in here. So the required fields for a trip would be trip ID, the trip date, the client name or the patient's name, and then the driver's name. Now, what the tool will do is, based on the driver name, it'll go and look up the driver rate, the driver rate card. If it cannot find it in there, then we'll automatically assign the default rate to that trip, to that driver. There's obviously a pickup address and a drop-off address. What you don't need to have miles in here. The tool will actually use Google Maps API to calculate the driving miles and the driving time in minutes, and also the payment. So once we do that, then we go into our main screen. The first thing that you'll do is we will calculate the trip data. So this would be the trip miles. I can go in here and I can click on this. As you can see, there are about 35 trips, and the tool is going and calculating the miles driven and the driving time for every one of those trips. Also, what the payment is due to the driver based on those miles, right? So in this case, John Doe, we don't have in here, so the default rate is that he would get the $15, and then the first 3 miles he wouldn't get anything, and then anything the rest of the miles above that he would get the $1.50. And that's how these payments is calculated. Once we do that, then what we can do is we can click on the generate payroll, and what the tool will do is it will calculate based on our template in here. It will calculate the pay for every driver, and will create a tab or a sheet for every driver. So in this case, driver 1, he's got these trips. It has your company's logo in there, which you can change, your company's information, which will be on the invoice, and then your total miles driven, and then the total payment for that period of time. It will find the timeline. Looks like these trips are from 8/26 to 9/3. It's for that week, and we'll find those. We'll put the driver name and your payroll summary, and this is the amount that you can send to your payment processor to pay. Once we do that, the other thing that we can do is we can export the payroll, and what the tool will do is we'll generate a PDF file of each one of these drivers that you can email to them and have that have that as a record. The way we do that is, let me kind of go back really quick to our settings tab. In here, I'm telling the tool to deposit all the PDF payroll files into this folder. I can go in here, I can click on export payroll, and what it will do is it will create a PDF file for each one of the drivers with their name. So if I was to open it, James Dean, then it will have this file that we can email to them, right, with the commission on all of those trips, pickup location, drop off location, driving distance, driving time, and the commission. So I can take those files and send them to each one of my drivers, and really is as easy as that. Next week, when I have to redo, depending on how often you do payroll, I can click on delete payroll, and all of the sheets will be cleared, and I can paste my trips, and I can do this process all over again. As you can see, it only took me minutes to generate the payroll for all of my drivers. I really appreciate you taking a look at this video. You can download this tool from the link at the bottom, and again, my name, my number, and my phone number and my email are in the description as well. I understand that your tool might need some improvements or might need some features that are not available in this. I'd be more than happy to customize that for you. I've been doing this for logistics tools for a long time, and we'll be very happy to work with you on that. So thank you very much. Feel free to download the tool again from the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and until next time.